You're welcome to today's lecture under the Use of English series for JAMB UTME, of course, episode 17. And today we are treating the topic disjunctive or tag questions. Do not forget to enable full screen view on your device by tapping on this place that I'm hovering my mouse to enjoy the maximum viewers experience. As this lecture go on, do not forget to listen attentively and make your own notes. Without wasting much of our time, let's head straight into the outline of today's lecture. Lecture outline. Definition of subjunctive or tag question, 8 laws that govern the use of tag question with examples, practice exercises from WAEC and JAMB/answers. Quick recap, you will learn the above in this lecture and I wish you good luck. Disjunctive or tag questions. A disjunctive question is a question tag attached to a statement. It is a question tag attached to a statement. That's the meaning of disjunctive. It can be called disjunctive or tag question and is referred to as a question tag attached to a statement. The example here is John can do the job, comma, can't he, in quotes. This can't he you have here in quotes is the tag question or disjunctive, and this is the statement. According to the definition, disjunctive question is a question tag attached to a statement. This is the statement. John can do the job is the statement. Question tag attached is what? Can't he. This is the disjunctive, in quotes. This is the tag question. Moving on. The following rules govern disjunctive questions. 1. A comma separates the statement from the tag question. For example, he can do the job, comma, the comma is bold here, comma, can't he is in quotes. A comma separates the statement from the disjunctive question or from the tag question. That's the first rule that governs disjunctive question. Number 2, the second rule states a positive statement goes with a negative tag. Take note of the color codings. A positive statement goes with a negative tag. For example, you know what a positive statement is. A positive statement is like a real statement. A negative tag is like an opposite, an unreal tag. Let's look at the example we have here. He can do the job. He can do the job. The can here shows positive. Can, positivity, can. This is a positive statement. He can do the job. But let's look at the tag that goes, or the question tag that goes with this positive statement. Can't he? Can't he? Can't is a negative. Can't is negative. Can, positive. He can. He can is positive. Negative. He can't. Can't is negative. So, positive statement goes with negative tag. The positive statement is he can do the job, and the negative tag is can't he. But when you say he can do the job, can he? The statement becomes wrong because you give a positive statement, which is he can do the job, a positive tag, which is can he or can he. But when you use can't he, you give it a negative tag, which makes the statement or the disjunctive correct. Moving on. The third rule that governs disjunctive or tag question states the auxiliary verb and the subject are repeated in the tag. The auxiliary verb and the subject are repeated in the tag. For example, he can do the job. This is the statement. He can do the job. He can do the job here. What's the auxiliary verb here? The auxiliary verb here is can. That's the auxiliary verb. Can. He can do the job. A helping verb. That's the meaning of an auxiliary verb. A helping verb. A verb that helps the subject. A connecting verb. A helping verb. Assisting verb. That's an auxiliary verb. It usually connects the subject. He can do the job. This is the statement with the auxiliary verb can. It says the auxiliary verb is repeated. So remember the second rule, which states positive statement goes with negative tag. So this is a positive statement. We are supposed to use what? Negative tag, which is can't. But you are supposed to repeat the what? The auxiliary verb, which is can. That was why can't was used here to create a negative form of can. Hope I made myself clear. I think I did. So the question tag here is can't he. The auxiliary verb converted to the negative form here is can't. Can't he? Can't he? The subject is also what? Repeated. What is the subject? He is the subject. Remember what subject is before the verb. What you have before the verb. Everything you have before the verb is subject. So what we have here is he before the verb. That's the subject. And the subject, which is he, is repeated here in the tag. The fourth rule states negative statement goes with a positive tag. So this is now a typical opposite of positive statement goes with a negative tag. Now, negative statement goes with a positive tag. So just have it in your mind that it's opposite. When you have a negative statement, it should go with a positive tag. When you have a positive statement, it should go with a negative tag. Just have that in mind. Okay? So the fourth law states a negative statement goes with a positive tag. For example, he can't do the job, comma, then the tag. What do we have there? Can he or can he? to fit in the tone. Can he? He can't do the job. Can he? If you look at the arrow pointing down, the statement we have there is negative statement. This is a negative statement. And why is it a negative statement? Because of this auxiliary verb here. Can't is a negative. He can't. He cannot. Can't. He can't. A negative. This makes this a negative statement. This is a negative word. I can is a positive word. Negative word. Can't. Cannot. Anything not is a negative word. So the tag question we have here is positive tag, which because of this auxiliary verb can makes it a positive tag. Remember, the subject is repeated. Can he or can he? Moving on to the next. Number 5. The fifth rule that governs disjunctive or tag question states the same auxiliary verb in the sentence is repeated in the tag. The same auxiliary verb is repeated in the tag. The same auxiliary verb you have after the subject is repeated in the tag. For example, he ought to have done it. Ought here is the auxiliary verb before the subject he. So let's look at the quotes, the tag question. What was repeated? Oughtn't he? Oughtn't he? It was repeated with the subject in the words. So all the rules come together and work harmoniously. All the rules come together and work in harmony. All the rules. So oughtn't he? It was repeated. The auxiliary verb here ought was repeated here. Oughtn't he? Plus the subject to create the what? The tag question or the disjunctive. Looking at another statement we have here, it says, the second example, we used to frequent the club. Used, didn't we? The auxiliary verb here used was repeated here. Or the auxiliary verb here used is repeated. Used, didn't we? We used to frequent the club. Used, didn't we? Remember, a positive statement goes with a negative tag. So this is a positive statement because used is a positive statement. Used didn't or used not. Anything not, when you have not, is a negative word. So that makes this a negative tag because of this negative word, this not we have here. So used, didn't we? We repeated the words, the auxiliary verb in the question tag or the disjunctive. Moving on. The sixth law that governs disjunctive or tag question states the tense of the statement should be the same in the tag. The tense of the statement should be the same in the tag. Take my lecture on tenses if you haven't, for you to have a smoother understanding of this lecture, so that some of the words, statements, and quotes we make here in this lecture doesn't sound foreign or new to you. So take my lecture on tenses. For example, let's illustrate this sixth law that states that the tenses of the statement should be the same in the tag. Care should be taken to maintain the tenses. Example, he was tough. Wasn't he? The statement tense was maintained. The same tense was maintained, okay? He was is a past tense. If you look at the question tag, it was maintained here. Wasn't he? Wasn't he? Wasn't he? Let's look at the next example we have here. He is tough. The verb we have here, or the tense of the verb we have here is present tense. He is tough. Isn't he? The same tense used, present tense. Isn't he? The tag question. The same tense maintained. The seventh law of the disjunctive and tag question states a statement which has no auxiliary verb, when there is no auxiliary verb in the statement, and whose only verb is lexical, make use of do. Use do when there is no auxiliary verb. For example, you like oranges. Don't you? Because we are talking about like here. Like is a positive word. So remember, positive statement goes with what? Negative tag. So that's why we are using don't you here. So saying you like orange, do you? That's wrong. When you say you don't like orange, do you? You see, when there's don't there, not is a negative statement. So it's supposed to go with a positive tag. So you can say you don't like orange, do you? You don't like orange, do you? That's correct. But when we are using a positive statement, which is you like orange here, we use a negative tag, which is don't you. So when you trace down, follow the arrow, you look at the statement you have in bracket, it states here that no auxiliary verb. So we don't have an auxiliary verb here. No linking verb here, no auxiliary verb. So we use do to replace the auxiliary verb when the statement does not have an auxiliary verb. Don't you? We used do. Moving on. The eighth and final law of the disjunctive or tag question states positive commands go with positive tags. Positive command. This is not a statement. We are no longer talking about statement. We are talking about command. Commanding someone to do something. All the examples we've given so far and the illustrations we've taken so far, they are not command. None of them was a command. So we want to look at command, statement that is a command. So a positive command goes with what? A positive tag. Let's look at an example to further illustrate this. Do it. Will you? Do it. It's a command. Do it. A command. Do it. a positive command, do here makes it positive. Remember, when you have not in a statement, or can't, that contracted not or not makes it a negative statement. So this is do is a positive statement. It makes this a positive statement or a positive command. Do is a positive word. So do it, a positive command, is supposed to go with what? A positive tag, which is will you, will you, will you, will you, positive command, will you, positive tag, will you, positive tag. So when you trace down, you see that the statement we have here is following this arrow. It says positive command, do it. Then when you trace down here on the tag question, the statement we have here following the arrow, it states positive tag. Will you? Do it. Will you? The next example here says, let us go. Shall we? Let us go. Shall we? Let us go. A positive command. Let us go. Let us go. A positive command. Go here is making it a positive command, or go here makes it a positive command. And if you look at our positive tag, it says shall we? Remember, when it's only one person, you use will. Will is suitable. But when it's more than one, you use shall. So let's go. You are referring to more than one person. So you use shall. Shall we? Shall we? Positive tag. Positive tag. Positive command goes with positive tag. Moving on. Note something very, very important. The negative of must, mustn't, that's negative form of must, which is mustn't or must not, is not opposite in meaning. Remember, a positive statement, when you want to give a tag to a statement, is usually an opposite. A tag is usually an opposite of the statement. An opposite of the statement. So mustn't here, as an auxiliary verb, which is the negative form of must, is not opposite in meaning. It's not opposite in meaning. So it is usually replaced by needn't in answers. So when there's a need to have a negative auxiliary verb in your tag, you want to use negative following the law of disjunctive. You need a negative tag. And in the statement, you have a positive statement or a positive word. Must, for example, you have must in the statement, and you need to make the tag a negative one in order to what? Comply with the law of the disjunctive. What do you have to do? You use needn't, because mustn't is not negative in meaning. So you use needn't as a replacement. Statements. You must do it. Must here is the auxiliary verb, and it is what? Positive in meaning, and this statement is a positive statement. So remember, positive statement goes with negative tag. Mustn't you makes this what? Wrong. The first response, no, I mustn't. This no here is a negative tag or negative response. So you are not supposed to use mustn't again, because it's a negative response, because mustn't is not negative in meaning. So response 2, no, I needn't. Correct. Negative response. Needn't is negative in meaning. So you are using no here, and you are using a negative response because no is negative and needn't is negative in meaning. Response 3, yes, I must. Correct. Positive response. Yes is positive. It's a positive word. Since it's a positive response, you give it a positive verb, a positive auxiliary verb, which is yes, I must. Correct. Moving on. More examples. Statement. You can do it. Can't you? First response. No, I can't. No is negative. You have to use what? Can't, a negative auxiliary verb too. Correct. Negative response. Response 2. Yes, I can. Yes is a positive response, and you are supposed to use what? A positive auxiliary verb to match it. Correct. Positive response. With this, we have come to the end of disjunctive and tag questions. Let's take some exercises to test our knowledge. Exercises. This questions was brought from JAMB UTME 1990/1997/2000. The instruction says, fill the gap with the most appropriate alternative. Number 1, John will come here tomorrow, dash. John will come here tomorrow, dash. A, will he? B, isn't it? C, not so. D, won't he? What's your answer? John will come here tomorrow, comma, dash. You answered right. The correct option is D, won't he? John will come here tomorrow, won't he? Number 2, the teacher had told Ibrahim to get up, comma, dash. The teacher had told Ibrahim to get up, comma, dash. A, will he? B, shall he not? C, will he not? D, can't he? What's your answer? The teacher had told Ibrahim to get up, comma, dash. You answered right. The correct option is A, will he? The teacher had told Ibrahim to get up, comma, will he? Number 3, you have to go now, dash. You have to go now, dash. A, don't you? B, haven't you? C, have you? D, isn't it? What's your answer? You have to go now, dash. You answered right. The correct option is B. Haven't you? You have to go now. Haven't you? Number 4. We need to be there. Dash. We need to be there. Dash. A. Need we? B. Needn't we? C. Not so. D. Isn't it? What's your answer? We need to be there. Dash. You answered right. The correct option is B. Needn't we? We need to be there. Needn't we? These are the answers. And what did you score? A quick recap of this lecture says, a disjunctive question is a tag question attached to a statement. When using tag questions, do not forget the following. Repeat the auxiliary verb and the subject in the tag. Maintain the tenses. Make use of do when the statement has no auxiliary verb. Positive commands go with positive tag, and so on and so forth. Remember the 8 rules of disjunctive or tag questions. Thank you so much for taking this lecture. I hope you understood and enjoyed every part of this lecture, and I hope you also made notes. Do not forget to subscribe and follow for more at Nkwado Augustine across all social media platforms. You have any question or knowledge gap, do where to drop your questions and knowledge gap in the comment section, and I will do justice to your questions and knowledge gap. At this point, I'm out.